In this video, I wanted to talk about how we're using screenshots to personalize cold emails with AI. More in general, I wanted to go over this client's campaign strategy overall because we're getting, 56 positive responses from 5,000 contacts. So it's about one positive response for 100 contacts reached out to. And we really recently just started, doing high volume campaigns. But then previously, one of the first campaigns that we ran was this one, 8 positive responses for 348 contacts reached out to. So this is much better conversion rates. But overall, we just kind of decided to go a little bit broader. So that's why conversion rates got a little bit worse. But overall, this is kind of the total results, right? So 5% reply rate and then 22% positive reply rate. But in this video, I wanted to go over the overall campaign strategy as well as how we're using screenshots to personalize cold emails with AI. So first of all, this is a jewelry brand and we're trying to reach out to jewelry stores. And we're using Serper.dev to do a Google search and then find as many of these companies as possible. What we're finding though, and then we're also using, info ads, contact at, hello at, email addresses. So those generic email addresses that we know behind them usually is the owner of the company, right? We're also finding the actual owner. Obviously, we're trying to find the full name of the owner. In some cases, we cannot find it. So as the first name variable, we're going to use company name team. So something like, instead of saying hi Sally, we're going to say hi company name team because we couldn't find the owner, the owner's first name, for example. Now, what we saw is that there's a lot of when you do a Google search, especially for these kind of niche verticals, you get a lot of unqualified companies. So we need to run a very heavy qualification process. Now, what we're doing here, I don't think is perfect at all. I think we could improve it a lot. But as far as the qualification process that we are running for this client's campaigns, as you can see here in table number 2, we have the ICP qualification. And so what we're doing here is we're first running a column. This is using Claygent in Clay to determine whether the company is a direct competitor to our client. And if so, we don't proceed with anything else, right? So we don't, as you can see, it says run condition not met because we don't run the other columns, right? If it's a competitor, we do not want to reach out to them. The second prompt that we're using is essentially a segmentation prompt. It's going to segment the list of companies into a few different segments. A lot of these, as you can see, are unqualified. And this is a thing where we could get better. We could improve this prompt and specifically the accuracy of this prompt because we still get some unqualified companies. Overall, our client's SCP is really tight. So, I think we could improve this prompt, but we are obviously getting rid of most of the unqualified companies in this table for qualification. And then the biggest point I wanted to talk about on this video is a screenshot-based AI personalization. So what we're doing here is we're taking screenshots of the prospect's website. We're having AI analyze the visual aesthetic, design elements, metalwork, gemstone style, overall vibe, and then we generate a personalized sentence that basically does a compliment on their style, draw natural connections to our client's jewelry. And then it kind of creates this, this brand gets what we do feeling in the first line. And I feel like in some of these cases, I'm probably biased because I wrote the prompt myself and I know it's AI written. But I'll show you some examples. I feel like in some of these cases, it can sound a little bit robotic. What we're seeing is that it's working really well because of 2 factors. I mean, really, the first one is I think it's very accurate based on the prospect's website. And then the second one is there's very low competition reaching out to these jewelry stores, right? So these people don't receive so many cold emails. And so if they receive something like this, they probably think it was manually written and someone actually did the research. While instead we're actually using AI to do the entire research at scale. So let me show you what we do. We first use Firecrawl to take a screenshot of the company's website. And then the screenshot is something like this, right? So I'll show you one of these examples. This is literally the screenshot of the entire page of the company website. And as you can see, the reason why we're using screenshots and we're not just using a Claygent column to just go to the website, analyze the text, and then output some personalization is that for some of these, most of these jewelry stores, their websites, doesn't contain much text, but there's a lot of images, there's a lot of pictures, right? And so you want some sort of AI that's able to look at the pictures and output some sort of personalization, right? Some sort of reasoning, or even just describe the pictures, right? Now, what we're seeing with Claygent is that it's not really able to do that at scale really well. Maybe it's just like, maybe it's a problem of the prompts I'm using, but like I haven't seen that to be really accurate in like looking at images and understanding, images and understanding pictures on a website. So what we're doing instead is we're taking screenshots. Now, I think Clay recently rolled out the screenshot feature, but we're using Firecrawl. I think it's a little bit cheaper. Yeah, this is 2 credits per row. Firecrawl is cheaper, and we're just getting good results with Firecrawl. We started using it prior to the screenshot feature in Clay, I believe, and so that's kind of what we're doing. And then we're using this prompt, which is a analyze image prompt. If you go here and you look for analyze image, this is what we're using, ChatGPT analyze image. And then we're using this prompt to basically analyze the picture, the screenshot that Firecrawl took of the company website, and then output a personalization sentence that's going to go to the PS line of our cold email. So this is one example. Love how you present sculptural designs with raw gemstones. That curation feels really aligned with our hand-carved 14-karat crystal fine jewelry and 14-karat beaded collections with natural stones, right? You can see some of these, you can read through some of these, and I feel like in some of these cases, it might sound a little bit robotic, but you tell me, because I wrote this prompt, and like I said, I'm product biased because I know it's AI written, but overall, I think it's pretty natural. It comes off pretty natural, and we're seeing pretty good results in engagement from these prospects, especially because they see this personalization and they can understand that the email was run manually, there was some sort of research behind the email. So the last point I wanted to mention is just simple copy, right? A lot of the success that we're seeing with these campaigns, which is nothing crazy, but like, it's better than average results, is basically making the copy as simple to understand as possible. Literally in 5 seconds, the prospect is able to understand what it is that we're offering, and then determine whether it's worth exploring, they could be interested or not, right? So we're using clean, easy to scan email structure. We're not using any intros, any like crazy personalization at the beginning of the email. Indeed, we are writing the personalization at the end of the email in the PS line, like I mentioned. And then we're using a soft call to action, which is basically, would you like to see our brand book? Something similar, not exactly this, but some variants of this CTA. Soft call to action, ask them if they would like to see some pictures, some images, the brand book, and that kind of gets a lot of prospects to, raise their hand and ask to receive the brand book. So this is kind of what we're doing for this client. Let me know if you have any questions on the Firecrawl usage or screenshot kind of process here. And I hope you have a great rest of your day.